Welcome to LHS Live, every Wednesday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Where you'll hear from new guests every week on relevant topics. Community-based, student-driven. And now, your host, Joe Roberts.
Good morning, Panther Nation, and welcome to another episode of LHS Live. I am Joe Roberts, and even though my junior producer, Oscar Secada, told me we were going live, I don't know if we are recording right now, so we'll see. I don't see red. I'm like the bull in the china shop. Anyway, I'm here with our special guest, Katriesa Secada, who just so happens to have a relationship, some kind of something with our junior producer. You are his stepmother, right?
Yes.
You're his mom and
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm his mom.
There you go. That's it. You're his mom. So awesome to
Or
have you today.
stepmother, as he would say.
Okay. All right. Let's pull that mic a little closer to you. Yeah.
Is that good?
That's good. I can hear you a little better now. You are kind of like a female me. It seems like you're doing a million things.
Wearing a lot of hats.
And you are on Main Street, right?
I am.
And you have a little shop. It's a quaint little shop, and you sell clothes and other things like that. And the name of the shop is?
It's called Once Loved.
Once Loved. Okay.
Yes.
Wanted to make sure that I didn't say that incorrectly.
No.
Even those words are not hard to say.
No, they're not.
All right,
But
so-
yes, Once Loved. I like to say it's a mix of new and once loved items from other places that I go and collect. And I like the mix of old and new, and creating home, gift, apparel, wardrobes that people like.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm going to take one little second here. Get you closer. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. That's so much better. These microphones are so amazing. The not late but still great Bill Buchanan
Yeah.
hooked me up with these, and I love
They
them
still
to death.
look like they were. Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. But you got to get a little closer,
a little closer.
to them. And I told you before we went on air, you don't have to eat them, so we don't have salt and pepper, but you have to know what they smell like, I
Okay.
guess. All right, so Once Loved is your shop.
Yes.
You are on Main Street in Liberty, but how on earth did you get to Liberty, Texas? That's the real question.
Well, I'm from Atlanta, and with a background, I always had stores, shops. My last one was a bridal shop. I also was doing exactly what I'm doing here, wearing a lot of hats. I worked in marketing for lots of companies in Atlanta, Home Depot, Rooms to Go, Bloomingdale's. And I worked in theater and taught costume design for Spelman College. So did some stage things, still life, and for marketing and big companies that needed ads. And so I met my husband on Christian Mingle. So
Nice.
that's what happens
See,
when you take
someone's
a chance.
willing to admit they met
Yes.
someone online,
I
and
think it's pretty common these days.
he wasn't living in his mother's basement,
No.
and he wasn't 20 years older than
No.
he. Okay.
No. He was a decent man, and
You said was.
he is.
Okay, all right.
Just to
I love
clarify.
English. We're looking at the verbs here. Okay, just
He's
so
an
we're sure.
awesome guy, and he was here, and he's a Texan. And once we fell in love, it didn't seem like he was moving to Atlanta. And I'm up for adventure, so I brought my 2 children, and he had 3, and we have a cozy family of 7. And that includes your assistant. What's his
He's
title?
junior producer.
Junior producer.
That's right.
Oscar Secada, who I'm super crazy about too. And so he told me about this. So I've made a life here. I love community, and I love meeting people and gathering.
Yeah.
And so I do that through all the
So we've got
companies I
we
work
got
with.
someone in the background. I failed to mention Miss Nicole Ledoux, who's doing some work for me.
yeah.
We've got one act play competition coming up, and she's working on some stuff for that.
That's
And so
exciting.
she's just not trying to photobomb us back here. She's
I think
actually
it's-
working.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So
I met her.
apologize for that.
No.
All right, so Hot Atlanta,
Yes.
the exact same as Liberty, right?
Not quite.
Not quite.
You
Okay.
know, honestly, I thought once we were talking, I thought I was moving to Houston, but
Oh, he tricked you.
No.
Because he's like, oh, yeah, I live in Houston. We all say that because no one knows
Oh,
where these towns are.
He worked in Houston, but he super proud of Liberty. We actually lived in Hardin
Okay.
up until about 6 months ago. But a small town, I know. I was born and raised in Nashville, which is another big city,
Mm-hmm.
but I spent summers in small town Tennessee with grandparents. Went to college in small town Kentucky.
Sounds like a country song.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Maybe my life is a country song.
I think it is.
That would be a dream. And if someone would give me a contract, I would sing about it
Well, we're ready.
on Broadway.
This
in
is
Nashville.
your debut.
No.
Well,
no, I'm
can
not
we
gonna
bring?
do it.
Can someone bring a guitar? Oh, okay, I'm just kidding.
Oscar does play piano.
He is. He's quite accomplished. It.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he tells me. I've never heard him.
No
but,
way.
But I know this whole time. He says,
Oscar
"I'm this
is
great piano player," and then
Very
he never.
humble. He never shows it. Yeah, that's what humble people do.
Yeah,
though.
that's
keeps it
how they do
quiet.
it. Okay, so we've got Atlanta to Liberty. Well, Houston, and then you find out that it's actually Liberty.
And it's awesome. Yeah.
But you said some really cool things that I want to delve into, just because they speak to me, and that's theater.
Yeah.
I think the first time I met you, we were at the Humphreys Burson Theater, and you came in with who did you come in?
It was
Betty
Betty
Runkle?
Runkle.
And you were just
introducing-
bouncing off the. Like, who is this gal coming down that's always
I was
bouncing all over the
like,
place?
This is like where I belong. This is what I know. Artist communities and creative minds kind of coming together. And so I kind of, in Atlanta, I dove into that, teaching students how to, what you do, how to create and that they can make a great career out of it. So I think it's incredible that this whole, this room sits here and that you and Mr. Ewing do what you do in this town. It's
Oh well,
awesome.
we have a good time, but these kids are the ones that really take the shine.
Yeah, they do a good job. It kind of, I want it to be more out there that this kind of thing's happening.
Well, we've got some opportunities for you because you have such great wealth of knowledge. With your theater background, do you just get the itch pretty frequently to design something?
Yes.
To do
To
something?
do yeah, you know, I taught costume design, and even coming here, Houston Community College pulled me on, and this year I didn't take on a class, but I taught fashion merchandising and history of costume. So those things kind of intrigue me, and how we can kind of make it relevant in performances now, or
See, I smell a guest speaker something workshop coming up. That's what I smell here
Let's
in
do
Liberty,
it.
Texas. We should.
yeah.
I've got all these kids that are laboring under me, and I'm like the person that's just discovered the wheel.
Yes.
And and you have the Mazda new
Oh,
thing, and
no.
you got all this, and I've got a rock. horse
I've
cart.
got the rock too, but you know, I'm like putting things in motion. So let's just put our
Well,
energies together.
Okay, you heard it here first. LHS Live. We're in motion. We're gonna do something.
Let's move.
All right. So theater, and we're gonna be doing a Valley Players production,
Yes.
this big musical this summer in June, and it's going to be 9 to 5. We were
That's
supposed to do
exciting.
it 2 years ago,
Yes.
and
And
we all know what
COVID,
happened
yes.
there.
It
So
just
we're
changed
finally gonna get
everything.
that. Auditions for that are gonna be on Sunday, March 20th. So it's coming up
Oh,
in
it's coming
a week and a
up.
half. And then Monday, March 21st. Yeah, March 21st. 20th and 21st. And I may have said the wrong
No.
day, but it's Sunday, March 20 and Monday,
Monday,
March
March
21st.
21st.
It's going to be at 6 p.m. or no, 4 p.m. and then 6 p.m. So at the library theater.
So those are tryouts.
That's right. Tryouts, auditions, come on out, and I feel like we're going to have
Yeah.
you there, right?
Not trying out.
But to do something,
I'm
right?
kind of like you. We talked about that this morning.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the stage.
Hey, but we always need people that
Yes.
do the stuff.
Oh,
It's
I'll
the
be
stuff.
a part of it. I can't wait. Betty, she introduced it to me. She's such an energizing spirit herself.
Oh yeah.
And introduced me to the Valley Players, which she had about 2 years ago, but then, life stopped and changed. And so as soon as the fall came, it was the holiday
Mhm.
play that came. So it was so fun. I assisted the costume director,
Deborah.
Deborah.
Yep. Deborah
who
Pickett. She's
also-
wonderful.
She is awesome. And just to be there to see her relationship with the actors, some that she kind of knew already,
Mm-hmm.
and to see how the play started and where it ended was just a great experience. So yeah, I'll be a part of everyone. If I'm
All right, you are
able
on
to.
record now. Just
Okay.
just so you know, you're on record.
Just know I'll do it. It was fun.
Okay, it's just about 9:45. We're about halfway through the program, LHS Live. I'm Joe Roberts, and I'm here with Katriesa Secada, the proud owner of Once Loved on Liberty Main Street.
Yes.
Now, that is not the whole story. Right next door is a jiu-jitsu studio. Do you call it a studio?
It's a Oscar calls it a gym.
A gym? Okay.
No, a school.
A school.
But it's a gym. There's a gym in the back.
Okay.
Where he also has kickboxing,
Oh.
and he doesn't do it himself. He brings, trainers in to do their craft. I think there's Muay Thai coming in the spring.
No.
And he is a pretty excellent jiu-jitsu coach. And he teaches kids and women and men, adults. And so I've watched that grow. I don't know if the community knew much about jiu-jitsu, even knew how to say it. Because I think still people are like, karate?
Yeah,
It's like, no,
something.
it's ground wrestling. I hope I'm saying that right.
Well, I'm sure
Oscar.
he'll tell you
Yeah,
if you're not.
yeah, he'll let me know. And I just have seen how it's brought families together. It's gotten confidence in children. It's made parents feel and women feel empowered, where they can take care of themselves. And then it's just a cool tribe that kind of hangs out there.
Gee, I want to feel empowered. I
Yeah.
feel like
Joe,
I'm
you
being
should
left
go
out.
you should go see it. It's really, it takes skill, but it takes like,
Well, you if it takes skill, I'm probably out on that one. You're looking at me right now. This is the most
But you
bend I've
learn
had
it.
in my body for at least a decade.
I think it's just cool. I won't do it myself. I mean,
Oh yeah, little Oscar
Oh,
Secada,
yeah.
our junior producer, is quite the accomplished
He is
jiu-jitsu
jiu-jitsu.
artist.
he is. I
Okay.
mean, I've seen him choke people out.
Oh, see,
Those
it's always the
jiu-jitsu
quiet
people-
ones.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And I told you his mafia name was Freddie Crickets,
Freddie
and he's
Crickets.
earned it. He has earned that name.
I think, but Secada
Oh
and
yes,
Frederico,
yeah. Well,
that's his middle name.
I think what we're going to have to take for him now, with your permission, is that when we go places, he's just going to be our staff bodyguard. just that's it. Look at the guys with
I
the
just-
beards. No, it's not the dangerous ones.
No,
it's
it's
the
the
young
tall one,
baby-faced
yeah.
one over there. That's the dangerous one. That's what you have to worry about.
Yeah, it'll choke you out in
That's
a second.
right. So you've got this great jiu-jitsu studio.
Yeah, it's a family. Families come there Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, and they think they're bringing their kids, but the dads get in, the moms get in, and it's just a good. I think the community needed that, and it's kind of one of those things. I think Oscar, he had no clue. We both keep our day jobs. I'm in marketing. I'm either freelance or I work for other companies, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I knew once I moved here to Liberty, I knew I know how to run a store, and retail and fashion's always my thing. So I was like, honey, if I'm coming to small town Texas, if you can find me a shop, I can thrive. I can be happy, and I'll be a happy wife, a happy mom.
That's right.
You know, and we found that place, and right next door, the landlord was like, "Hey, I got another spot." Well, I kind of am a quick decision maker. I knew where he showed me was going to work. But that building was empty next door, and I was like, "Oscar, what about jiu-jitsu?" And he's like, "Don't you mention it."
Don't you do it.
I was like, "Hey, he teaches jiu-jitsu." And suddenly we had 2 leases and 2 spots on Main Street, and we've weathered a hurricane that took out floors and mats. We've weathered 2 years of COVID. We're still there, so God's good. He just
Well, every time I drive by, I always see people parked out there, so I know something's going right.
Something's going on. Yeah, it's a good thing. We're just trying to make it work, kind of repositioning ourselves after COVID.
Where do you park? Because that little spot in the front there's like 3 people can get in.
Yeah, and it's so hard to back out.
Yes.
I'm the one that people are honking at when I'm backing out of there. There's parking all around us. And coming soon, I hope, there is a market I'd like to kind of get going where we have some food trucks and some tinted vendors out there. So kind of get Main Street moving again.
Yeah, right.
Energized after 2 years of being in our houses.
So it sounds like you're probably a part of the Chamber of Commerce.
I am.
And I know you're a Rotarian because I saw you yesterday at the Rotary Club. So you came from Atlanta and you're like, no, I'm not going to be fading into the background. I'm here.
Yes.
Deal with it. Let's go.
I just don't know how to do that, fade into the background. I guess I could, but I just do not.
See, I don't know. I really kind of envision if we were doing a stage play and I had you playing a tree, I would probably constantly have to. Okay, I don't need the tree shaking. I just stand there, please.
That would be me.
You're dancing in the background.
Swing. Yes, I dance all the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to, and that's based on the next move that I made, which was to work for Harbor Hospice, and they are right next door to Liberty Jiu-Jitsu. They are end of life kind of team of medical and spiritual counselors, social worker. Kind of just a good group of people that help you at that stage of life, and so to really, I guess, get in front of the community, because that's one of those things people don't talk about.
Oh, never,
you know? Never. It's until it's time.
Right.
You're really not even thinking about it, but yes, it's not one of those everyday things that I go up and start conversations with. But if they know me through my shop, if I've dressed them, and if their kid goes to jiu-jitsu, then hopefully they'll trust me with their family's needs when it comes to that. So I had to get to know people, so I joined the Rotary and Liberty Chamber of Commerce, and super excited about all the changes and the footprints that they're making on the town, and I just want to be a part of it.
Well, you've got all these cool ideas, and you've got all these cool things that are going on in your life and your world. How does one come and support you at Once Loved?
You know, that would be simply coming to the shop.
Okay.
But I also have presence online at on Facebook and on Instagram. The shop's open 11 to 3. Times are changing because sometimes I like to work by appointment. People like one-on-one. So Tuesdays are appointment days. You just simply text me, hop online, Once Loved in Texas on Facebook or Instagram, and just say, hey, let's meet. I have daily texts of people that are like, hey, I have a pair of shoes. What do I wear this with? Or I'm going to a wedding. I need an outfit. I love opening my phone and seeing those kind of things, because my background of wardrobing, it just comes naturally to me. So either walk into the store Wednesday through Saturday, we're there 11 to 3. I'm there on Saturday mornings, every Saturday morning. And Liberty Jiu-Jitsu, like I said, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday is 6 to 8. Saturdays are 9 to 11. And then Harbor Hospice is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I'm not in the office. If I'm in the office, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do in marketing. I'm supposed to be out meeting the people, networking, and just getting the name out there that we're in the community. But there's an 800 number that's on the door. I don't know if
I don't know it, but we're going to get to that.
And you just call if there's ever a need in your home or family. There's people there that can help you.
Well, how do I contact you?
Oh, so at Once Loved in Texas on Facebook or Instagram, you can also call me. Yes, I have a cell phone. Text is great because calls are not what I do.
People don't answer phones anymore.
No.
I know I don't.
I'm so quick. I'm a great multitasker, but if you text me at 404, I kept my Atlanta number, 404-274-5432. It's pretty easy, 5432. I will be guaranteed to answer you and say yes to lots of things. My husband's like, I think you have fear of missing out. You say yes to everything. I'm like, if I have a service heart. If I could say yes and help people, then I'm going to do it.
Well, see, I love to meddle with my wife by calling her because I know she hates it when I call. She's like, "Fool, what are you calling me for? Just text me." So I like to do that.
Yeah,
so
tell her what. Have I met your wife?
My wife works at the Dayton Vet Clinic in Dayton. So if you have an animal, she's the highly beautiful blonde at the front desk.
Then I probably have met her and
probably
shaken
have.
her hand.
You probably have.
Because I've taken our dog Oliver there. Yes.
Oh, then you definitely have met her.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So she's really nice there at home. I don't know.
You get the wrath.
I get the wrath. She takes it out on me, the dog wrath.
The wrath is really love.
It really is. That's what she tells me too. So it's fine. It's whatever.
All the ladies say that.
I believe that. Okay, so there was one thing that I wanted to ask you real quick, and I forgot to ask you when we were talking about your design background.
Yes.
How did you get into the college ranks and teaching there?
I taught at a community college in Atlanta, and I taught at Spelman College, which was that's a historically black college, and to be a part of that community was just kind of like, wow, there's some really some talented individuals here that, and I guess I got in. I guess it might have started. Photography is my background. I don't shoot, but I'm on the other side of the camera. I dress the models and the subjects and the set. So I worked freelance throughout the city, and that is an interesting question. How did I move into teaching?
I think don't even know. You just were there.
Maybe some professor asked me to come speak.
Okay.
On what I did. I think that's it. And then I just I applied, and there was a need, and I started working. I was in charge of teaching costume design, but also costuming the 3 performances and the 3 dance performances each semester.
Oh, gosh.
So talk about pressure.
That is big pressure, especially for the dance stuff, because
yes, it's a different kind
our
of
dancers, they get nuts if their stuff is not there, and they have to be free enough to do what they do. And
so I didn't do it all myself. It's a team. So I'm really good at resourcing people to be on a team. And so there were sewers. I don't sew. I sew very minimal, but I'm good at resourcing the people that do and picking out the fabrics. And so I just kind of build the network, and then I help facilitate. Because there has to be that person, right?
That's the best part. My brother is so good at that. I used to call him the Tom Sawyer of... I mean, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I can do this and this and this," and
he didn't do all the parts.
We're all working and sweating, and then he shows up and is like, "When's dinner?" I'm like, "Where have you been?" He's just right there. Okay.
No, but
you're a facilitator. No. I get it. That's where you are.
I get in there too. I will move that. You ask Betty. I had those costumes. I bring things. I always teach my students too, like. you cannot do every job yourself. If you're going to build something creative, there's parts that you're the best at, and then there's parts that other people do. So make a great, phenomenal project with teaming up with the people so that your project is on top, but you're not the one that's doing all the every part.
It's about having that passion for something.
And then spreading it on.
My son, he asks me all the time, Dad, why don't you mow the yard? I pay somebody to mow our yard.
Yes.
I am not passionate about lawn care.
And it's okay.
Yeah, that's right. This person that I pay, they love doing that.
They love doing it. They have I think everybody has a passion for something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, then you need to hone in on it, and you help that individual.
That is so correct. Okay, so we're just about out of time here, and I want to give you an opportunity to leave us with some sort of life lesson, a piece of advice that we could sink our teeth into. And it doesn't have to be,
Yeah, I get it.
Aristotle or anything like that, but just something.
I think first there has to be a recognition that I'm not breathing on my own, and I don't do things on my own. There's a wonderful God that kind of leads me, and I go where he leads. Second of all, when you are led, there's just a belief and a confidence that you should have in yourself, that you are not by yourself, and that you're just going to do what you've been called to do. And so my final word is love what you've been called to do. And it won't ever seem like work. It'll just be the giving and the loving what you do. So everybody that has, I always tell my students, don't quit your day job, especially if you're artists, because there's no creativity that comes out of starving artists.
Right.
Isn't that the truth?
Right.
If you're starving, you're super stressed out, and you're not creating, and you're not building something that you feel confident in. So keep your passion, and I've always done it that way. I've always funded my passions through other passions. So I keep my day job. I do things that I love, and ultimately I just want to make people happy and live a good life.
That's awesome. Katriesa Secada, our special guest today. You've been watching LHS Live. We will not be here next week. Next week is spring break. We will pick up the week after. A couple of things going on before I let you go. Today, the Lady Panther softball team opening up their district run, and they're going to be hosting the Hardin-Jefferson Lady Hawks. And then on Saturday, my gang, my one-act play high school gang, is going to be performing their district competition, and we will be performing at 2 p.m. at the LISD Auditorium.
Nice.
Again, you've been watching LHS Live. I'm Joe Roberts, been here with Katriesa Secada, the owner of Once Loved. We will see you next time.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching every Wednesday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Guests every week on relevant topics. Community-based. Student-driven. Don't forget to tune in next week for LHS Live.